everyone, welcome back to another video. It's Rebecca and today I have a book haul for you guys, so let's get started. So the first one I already unpacked in my previous video, but I just wanted to include it in this one too. It's Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. So basically what Fourth Wing was about. It's about this girl named Violet who is forced to become a dragon rider by her mother. So she has to enter this war college and participate in all these difficult obstacles that may possibly kill her. It's a fantasy, so obviously there's like a lot of plot twists. Found family is in this, and there's an enemies to lovers romance in it. The romance wasn't my favorite, I admit that. Please don't come after me, but I'm hoping this second one will be a lot better in the romance. This is also a very highly anticipated sequel by pretty much everyone. I liked Fourth Wing. I probably didn't like it as much as most people did, but I still gave it a 4.5 out of 5, which is still pretty good. I'm pretty sure, like most people, I hope for a bit more world building. The ending to Fourth Wing was a bit out of nowhere in my opinion, so I really hope this one gives us more context. The second one I have is Lonely Castle in the Mirror by, I'm so sorry if I butchered this name, Mizuki Sugimura. I heard this book gives off Howl's Moving Castle vibes. I haven't read Howl's Moving Castle yet. I really want to though. Fully to the point of dropping out of school, Kokoro's days blur together as she hides in her bedroom, unable to face her family or friends. As she spirals into despair, her mirror begins to shine. With a touch, Kokoro is pulled from her lonely life into a resplendent and bizarre fairy tale castle guarded by a strange girl in a wolf mask. 6 other students have been brought to the castle, and soon this marvelous refuge becomes their playground. The castle has a hidden room that can grant a single wish, but there are rules to be followed, and breaking them will have dire consequences. Next one I thrifted actually. It's The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. If you do not know of this series by now, you might have been living under a rock. I am kind of late to this series. I really had no interest in this, if I'm being honest. I did read The Hunger Games. I thought it was okay. I enjoyed it, probably not as much as the normal person would, but I heard this was a lot like The Hunger Games. But I thought since I saw it at the thrift store and it was cheap, it would be the perfect time to start reading it. Avery Grams has a plan for a better future: survive high school, win a scholarship, and get out. But her luck changes in an instant when billionaire Tobias Hawthorne dies and leaves her virtually his entire fortune. The only catch? Avery must move into his sprawling mansion full of secret passages, riddles, and codes. Unfortunately for Avery, Hawthorne House is also occupied with the family that was just disinherited. This includes the 4 Hawthorne grandsons, dangerous magnetic boys who grew up with every expectation that one day they would inherit billions. Next one I have is also another one I thrifted. It's The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness. As far as I'm concerned, this one is like a pretty underground series. I know the people who are into this series are like really into it. I believe this is a dystopian. Prentice Town isn't like other towns. Everyone can hear everyone's thoughts in an overwhelming, never-ending stream of noise. But in a town where privacy is impossible, there is a secret so awful that Todd, still a month shy of being a man, must run for his life. How do you escape when your pursuers can hear your every thought? That's right, I did hear something about this man's thoughts being heard out loud, so that was the part I was really interested in. I don't know too much about this, obviously. I have been getting back into dystopians lately. I really like the old dystopian stories that came in like 2014, 2015, so I'm trying to find other stories like that, and I heard this also has a good romantic subplot, so I'm really excited. Next one is Queen of the Tearling by Erica Johansson. This one is definitely an older series. I'm definitely late to the game. I saw it at the bookstore in person for like the first time, and I've never seen it in stores before, so I thought it was the perfect opportunity to get it. With the arrival of her 19th birthday, Princess Kelsey Relay Glynn, did I butcher that name? Probably, is ascending to her rightful place as the Queen of the Tearling. Surrounded by enemies, including an evil sorceress possessed by dark magic, the young ruler stands little chance of success. But Kelsey possesses fearsome weapons of her own, including the Tear Sapphire, a jewel of immense power and magic. As an epic war draws near, Kelsey's quest to save her kingdom and meet her destiny begins, a wondrous journey of self-discovery and trial by fire that will make her a legend, if she can survive. If I'm being honest, most of these books I bought because I heard there was a good romance subplot. If you couldn't already tell, I don't read romance books, specifically romance books, because I always get so bored because they're so predictable. But I really like fantasy with romance subplots. I feel like I just get so much happier when the romance rarely happens in the book. Like it just pops up in the book and you become so happy. But with romance books, it's like constant, right? Like obviously it's because it's the genre romance, but I just get so much more excited when it's a subplot in a fantasy book. And I heard this one's bodyguard and royalty sort of romance. I don't know. I can't wait to find out. Yeah, hopefully I can get into this series soon. The next one I have is actually a middle grade series, or well, the first book to the middle grade series is The False Prince by Jennifer A. Nielsen. And again, the trend continues. The reason I bought this was because I heard it had a good romance subplot. Four boys, one treacherous plan, an entire kingdom to fool. In a faraway land, civil war is brewing. To unify his kingdom's divided people, a nobleman named Connor devises a cunning plan to find an impersonator of the king's long-lost son and install him on the throne. Four orphans are forced to compete for the role, including a defiant and clever boy named Sage. Sage knows that Connor's motives are more than questionable, yet his life balances on a sword's point. He must be chosen to play the prince or he will certainly be killed. His rivals will be devising their own plots as well, so Sage must trust no one and keep his thoughts hidden. I was also really interested in the plot. It's been a while since I read anything like this where an orphan rises to the occasion to become royalty, so I'm really excited to get into another middle grade series. I haven't gotten into one for a little while, and this one sounds really interesting. The next one I have is actually a trilogy, and I watched the movie like a really long time ago. It's The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. I know the movie was a complete flop, but if I'm being honest, I think the actors for Liam and Ruby, their chemistry was so good. I'll read the blurb of the first book, obviously, so I don't spoil the entire thing. When Ruby woke up on her 10th birthday, something about her had changed. Something alarming enough to make her parents lock her in the garage and call the police. Something that got her sent to Thurmond, a brutal government rehabilitation camp. She may have survived the mysterious disease that killed most of America's children, but she and the others emerged with something far worse, frightening abilities they could not control. Now 16, Ruby is one of the dangerous ones. When the truth about Ruby's abilities, the truth she's kept hidden from everyone, even the camp authorities, comes out, Ruby barely escapes Thurmond with her life. On the run, she joins a group of kids who escaped their own camp. Zoo, a young girl haunted by her past, Chubbs, a standoffish brainiac, and Liam, a fearless leader, who is falling hard for Ruby. But no matter how much she aches for him, Ruby can't risk getting close, not after what happened to her parents. Since I watched the movie a long time ago, I figured since I forget what happened in the movie, I should give the trilogy a try because apparently the books are really, really good. And also, again, I'm getting back into the dystopian side of books, so I really want to try finding older dystopian series that I might be into. And last but not least, we have, I believe this book used to be self-published, but now it's traditionally published. It's Powerless by Lauren Roberts. Honestly, I'm kind of sad that they changed the font. I liked the font of the indie cover, but this is still really pretty. I heard the author kept updating people on her story progress on TikTok. I don't really go on TikTok too much, so I'm not really sure about that, but I heard there was really good banter in here, and also from what I've heard, this sounds similar to The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent, and honestly, I really enjoyed that book. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. I really enjoyed the tournament style of the first book, and I heard this was pretty similar. The elites have possessed powers for decades, gifted to them by the plague, while those born ordinary are just that, banished from the kingdom of Ilia and shunned from society. No one knows this better than Peyton Gray, an ordinary posing as a sidekick to blend in with the elites. But when she unwittingly saves one of Ilia's princesses, she's thrown into purging trials, a brutal competition showcasing the elite's powers. If the trials and the opponents within them don't kill her, the prince she's fighting feelings for will, if he discovers what Peyton is, completely ordinary. This also sounded like Renegades to me, since she has to hide the fact that she doesn't have powers from all these very dangerous people who obviously have what she doesn't. It really reminded me of Renegades because the main character in Renegades has to hide her ability during the tryouts. So I'm really excited to get into this one, honestly. I'm hoping to get into it maybe November or even December. And honestly, I can't wait for the banter. I always love good banter in books. Like I said before, I like subplots better in fantasy. I like romantasy, but not as much as the subplot romance. So hopefully the banter is good enough for me to like this romantasy book. But anyways, that's all the books I have for today. I hope you enjoyed. This is my first book haul. Obviously, I didn't collect all these books at once. They were from the course of multiple weeks. Don't worry, I'm not that crazy. And anyways, hope you enjoyed. Bye!